Hello, how you doing? Look, today we're going to make crispy belly pork, and when I say crispy, it's really super crispy, but at the same time super juicy and moist in the center. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. Okay, so our pork belly is here. This is 1.5 kg, which is just over 3 pounds. So the skin is on there obviously, and then underneath looks like that, and the side looks like that. So I'm going to be just using a small knife like this, little sharp knife, but you could use like something else, like a kind of kebab skewer or something. What we're going to do is this all over for about 5 minutes. So what I find is, if I think of someone I don't like, that all becomes a little bit easier. Okay, so we've pricked it and pricked it and pricked it. If you've seen, like, there's loads and loads of holes in it, loads and loads of holes in that skin. What we're going to do now is we're going to boil this. We're going to put it in water with some spices and get it going that way. So we're in a big pot. That's cold water in it, so I've kind of covered it up. A couple of teaspoons black peppercorns, a couple of bay. I like to put in some star anise, 1, 2, 3, 4 bits maybe. Quite a lot of salt, like a tablespoon of salt. An onion, you can just pop that in like that. And then I also like to add a couple of lemons or lime. I'm just going to give them a little squeeze, drop it in, squeeze, drop it in. And then one more here. What we're going to do is we're going to put the heat on high, bring that to a boil. Once it hits boiling point, going to turn the heat down a bit, get it on a kind of rolling boil for about 15-20 minutes. So I've turned that over a few times during the process, you know, just sort of flipped it over. What you need to do now is get a knife or something like a skewer or something, put it in and pull it out, and you can see that that's cooked there. Juices are coming out, but not blood. If there's a kind of red blood looking thing, keep going. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn off the heat. I'm going to be taking this out. We're going to put it on a tray, and what we need to do is, once it cools down, like, pat it dry underneath, on top, on the sides, everywhere. Regarding this water, I'm going to discard it. If you want, drink it or use it as a stock, but yeah, for me, I'm going to be throwing it out. But let's get this out and stick it on a tray. Okay, so I've taken that pork belly out. I've let it rest for a little bit, so it's kind of touchable, not so hot. And what I've done is I've patted it dry. I've got some paper towel and I patted it dry all over. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get salt, and we're going to put plenty of salt on it. We're going to be rubbing this on. You can see I've got some gloves on, and I'm going to be turning it over. We're going to be doing the underside and the sides. Now we're using plenty of salt here. We're probably going to use 4 or 5 tablespoons of salt. Just get it all in there and give it a little rub. Like I say, all the sides, all the edges. This is going to kind of give it that real crispiness. And we're simply going to be frying this once we've done this. So this does look like an enormous amount of salt, and it is, but it all works out really well in the end. Beautiful stuff. I think we're ready to get this bad boy in the pan. So I'm at the cooker, as you can see. Now I've got a pan here with about 2 to 3 centimeters of oil. You can use any oil you want. I'm using a corn oil today, but sunflower or something like that. Up to you what you want to go with. Now some people would deep fry this. I'm not going to deep fry it because it's quite a dangerous thing. Even this now is going to be quite a thing. So what we're going to do is just heat it up, then I'm going to drop in the pork. So here we go. Now just by the way, I've got this set to medium. We're not making French fries here. You don't want it super hot because it really does splutter quite a lot. So in that goes. And because I'm not deep frying it, I'm going to be turning it every sort of 1 or 2 minutes on its side, flipping it over, things like that. Okay, now just a warning. This goes berserk, this oil. Every now and then it will just spurt really badly. If you've got one of those nets, you know, those kind of mesh nets that can go over the top, really you should be using it. So I've been turning this over and over for maybe about 10 minutes now. You can see it's beautiful. Now I'm going to take this out. Now if you want, you can eat this right away. What we're going to do is we're going to let it sit down for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we're going to refry, double fry on this one. Okay, so just let that cool down 15, 20 minutes. We're going to get it back in now. Just put the heat on of the oil. It's going to go for about 5 minutes now, mostly on the skin, to be honest. I'm going to flip it a few times, but probably 4 minutes is going to be on the skin. Okay, that is truly beautiful now. Like I say, most of the frying was on the skin side, but really worth doing a little double fry. So we're going to take it out. That's super crispy, that is, and delicious. Be really juicy inside as well. We're going to just set that back on the rack for a couple of minutes, and then we can tuck in. Okay, so there she blows. Really beautiful. What I'm going to do now is cut it up into nice kind of bite-sized cubes. Look at that, absolutely gorgeous. Dripping, you see the juices? It's not dry at all, really juicy. So I was going to cube it up, but I've opted for kind of nice thick slices like that. Perfect, perfect. Really super juicy in the center and double crispy on the outside. Hope you enjoy that. Keep safe, keep well. I'll see you soon. Lots of love. Hello everyone, an update about the cookbooks. Well, the first one is now finally available. It's on Amazon. You can get it in an ebook. $3.99, very, very cheap. 195 pages of wonderful food from the Indian continent. It's flicking by you right now. Do me a favor, do yourself a favor, and please buy that. It helps the channel out a great deal. It's also available in paperback if you want that. Check the link below this video. You can just click that, buy it. Thanks a lot. Lots of love.